India, having solemnly resolved to constitute India into a sovereign socialist, secular democratic republic, and to secure to all its citizens justice, social, economic and political, liberty of thought, expression, belief, faith and worship, equality of status and of opportunity, and to promote among them all fraternity, assuring the dignity of the individual and the unity and integrity of the nation. In our Constituent Assembly, this 26th day of November 1949, do hereby adopt, enact and give to ourselves this Constitution. Good morning to all of you. Today is 26th, we all know that today is 26th November, and we are observing Constitution Day today, and it's a matter of great pride and pleasure that we are observing this day today. But I would like to remember one more thing. We all know this is a very infamous date. I mean, in recent last one decade, we know this is so we also remember the martyrs of terrorist attack today. So we remember them today, 26/11 terrorist attack martyrs. Today we are observing this day today, and we all know that this constitution is a very lengthy constitution. I think a few decades ago it was the lengthiest constitution. Constitution came into force on 26 January 1950. We all know that this is Republic Day, and as ma'am told us that on 26th January 1930 at the bank of Ravi, just after Congress Adhiveshan of 1930, Purna Swaraj, I think Purna Swaraj was, idea of Purna Swaraj was given on that day. And it was, we celebrate this day as Republic, that 26th January as Republic Day because of that. But we got our constitution on 26 November 1949. We make this country a welfare state through our constitution. Although it came into force on 26 January 1950, as I told you. However, certain provisions like Article 324, Article 54, and few others came into force on 26 November 1949, wherein the Constituent Assembly members append this signatures. This came into force on 26 November 1949. So, Constitution is the fundamental law of the land that ensures maximum governance output with minimal coordination, so that the citizenry is not bothered in the day-to-day life. We also this Constitution also acts as a safeguard against tyranny of legislature, judiciary, and executive. This is supreme over judiciary, executive, and legislature. So I would like to congratulate you all that we are observing, or we are celebrating this day today, this Constitution Day today, and I appreciate the efforts of HOD of this department, this Political Science Department, and other worthy faculty members of this department for organizing this day, and thank you so much for inviting me.
We need two committees, and most important committee was a 7-member committee. That was a drafting committee headed by Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, and the final there were 3 drafts that were put up before finalizing the constitution. First one was on February 1948. The second one was second reading was on October 17, 1948, and the third reading was in 1949. The last one was which ended on 26 November 1949. Same day, the members and the president signed it. So, why was, I would like to ask, why was then when it was already prepared? Then why do we say that Republic Day is celebrated and on 26th Jan 1950, because India was declared Republic on 26th January, and secondly in Lahore in 1929 they had decided way back in 1929 in Lahore that near Ravi Nadi.
Very much to the organizers. After listening Dr. Preeti Nath and Madam Principal, I remind one statement from Socrates when he says that I know that I don't know anything. Because lots of things have been mentioned by the speakers, but I would like to mention some important facts, the factual statements, and I would like to start with a question. Why do we need a constitution? And why should we read it? There were so many societies and times when there was no constitution. There was no state, there was no government. People were roaming around like animals in jungles. But as Aristotle has told, that man is a social and political animal. Ultimately, he settled down somewhere. And when he settled down, we still remember one statement from Hobbes, that man is nasty, selfish brute. Whenever opportunity comes, he may kill the fellow citizens. So we needed something to organize the unorganized life of man. So people assembled at one place and they made a contract with each other that we should end this sorry state of affair and should formulate some organization which later on called state. Then we made a contract with the state that we surrender our rights to you and you protect our freedoms in return. But this issue between the society and the state was not even settled unless there was a written document. So ultimately, people reached to the conclusion that we must have something written in our hands. So this is how these constitutions all over the world came into existence. In brief, we can say that constitution is a written codified document which regulates the life of and the freedom of man and the restrictions of the powers of the government. Although it is a Latin word which means restrictions and rules and regulations, but that has been well explained by Dr. Preeti Nath, that it was first completed on 6th December 1946, then it met first time on 9th December 1946, then 11th December Dr. Rajendra Prasad was elected as. One thing I wanted to say is that in the first meeting of the Constituent Assembly on 9th December, a pro tem speaker was elected. I would like to mention you that what is the pro tem speaker? It is a temporary post which is created to run the first meeting, and after that pro tem speaker resigns after taking the oath of all the members of the Constituent Assembly. And 11th Dr. Rajendra Prasad was elected. 13th December, as Dr. Preeti Nath said, objective resolution was read out, which later on, for your knowledge, I must tell you, this objective resolution later on became the preamble of the Constitution. बनाती है और रात को वो इंडियन पार्लियामेंट वर्क करती है, इंडियन पार्लियामेंट, because it was an interim government also. 14th, after that, 1949, Constituent Assembly acted as Parliament of India also, because the first election held in 1952. Before that, the same Constituent Assembly was acting as Parliament also. Let me brief out spell out some of the very important. Briefly, type. It is handwritten document, and the responsibility to do this was given to Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru because he wanted to give it a new shape, a different type of document. So he tried to search it out, और अल्टीमेटली उनको दिल्ली में एक फैमिली कैलियोग्राफर्स की मिली जो मतलब हाथ से जो लिखने वाले थे इटैलिक्स वर्ड में, एंड हिज द नेम ऑफ द पर्सन वाज राय बिहारी रायजादा, प्रेम बिहारी रायजादा, सॉरी. सो जब उनका सिलेक्शन हुआ तो नेहरू ने उनको पूछा कि जी आप रिटर्न में क्या लेंगे. वो कहते हैं जी मैं कुछ नहीं लूंगा पर मेरी एक कंडीशन है. तो वो कहते हैं जी क्या. वो कहता है जी हर पेज पर मैं अपना नाम लिखूंगा और एंड में मेरे ग्रैंडफादर का नाम लिखूंगा विद मी. तो अगर आपको कभी मौका मिले इंडियन कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन को देखने का तो हर एक पेज के ऊपर कोने के ऊपर प्रेम लिखा हुआ है और एंड में प्रेम बिहारी रायजादा और उसके फादर का नाम, ग्रैंडफादर का नाम. So this is how this, it is a written document, you must remember it. Secondly, it is supreme law of the land. You see, sometimes people confuse that for me it is Gita supreme, for Muslim it is Quran supreme, for Christians it is Bible supreme. But mind you, these are not laws. These are matter of faith. They may be supreme for you, but to run the country, the supreme law is constitution, or any other law which comes in between is set aside. It is according to the Constitution of India. It brings out the composite culture. You must listen this very carefully in today's context. It brings out the composite culture of India. ये मैंने भी कल ही जाना, वैसे पहले मुझे भी ये नहीं पता था. आप कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन को पलटेंगे तो उसको डेकोरेट किया गया है चारों तरफ से. Who decorated it?
सर वो भारतीय जो यूनिवर्सिटी है कोलकाता के रविंद्रनाथ टैगोर की, वहाँ के आर्टिस्ट
विश्व भारती, शांति निकेतन. शांति निकेतन आर्टिस्ट डेकोरेटेड इट. मगर उसकी डेकोरेशन में आप बड़ी इंटरेस्टिंग बात देखेंगे. ऑन दी वन साइड वी हैव राम कृष्ण, द अदर साइड बुद्धा महावीरा, वन साइड Ashoka, the other side Akbar the Great, the Mughal Samrat. One side you have Maharana Pratap, the other side you have Tipu Sultan also. This is printed in Constitution, the issues over which we are fighting today. So see how the composite culture of India is brought out in this document. And the third important characteristic is we the people of India. This is the first line of the preamble of the Constitution, we the people of India. This word was very debated in Constituent Assembly on the first very day. Some people said, no, it is not we the people of India. It must be in the name of God. So this was the only issue which was decided by voting. अदरवाइज शुरू में ये तय हुआ था कि कोई भी मुद्दा वोटिंग से नहीं होगा. तो ऑन दिस इशू वोटिंग वाज हेल्ड एंड यू विल बी सरप्राइज्ड वी द पीपल ऑफ इंडिया के फेवर में 68 वोट्स पड़े एंड इन फेवर ऑफ गॉड 41. So that was the first day when we the people of India defeated the God in Constituent Assembly, and this word was adopted. Secondly, the people are ultimate source of the power. No one else. Power to the Constitution ultimately comes from the people of India. एक statement मैं पढ़ता हूँ बड़ी famous. It is not an instrument for the government to restrain the people. It is not an instrument for the government to restrain the people, but it is an instrument for the people to restrain the government. आप देख सकते हैं ये कृषि कानून के संदर्भ में. Ultimately, people of India won. India, the next important visheshta is India, that is Bharat, is a union of states. Here Hindustan word is not there. It is India, that is Bharat, is a union of states. What do you mean by union of states? America is also union of states. But the difference between Indian Union and American Union is that we are not the result of a compromise between different units. America was a compromise between 13 different units. Here, right of accession was signed. It was not willingness of कि हम बाकी स्टेट्स को कॉन्ग्लोमरेट करके यूनियन बना हो. They willingly signed the sign of accession. So it means that no part of India can secede from this union. That is why you must have seen the movements from the beginning. 1960s there was a movement in South, Dravidistan, then Khalistan. There were so movements were launched, but all were crushed because no part of India can secede from this. It is a living document. It is a living document in what sense? It grows every day. It is growing every day. How? By the interpretation of Supreme Court and by the amendments of the Parliament. But what is the extent of amendment? Here I would like to mention one thing and then I'll conclude. किस हद तक पार्लियामेंट इस संविधान को अमेंड कर सकती है? 1950 से लेके और आज तक 100 से ज्यादा अमेंडमेंट हो चुके हैं, पर क्या कोई लिमिट है उसकी अमेंड की? कैन वी अमेंड इट थॉरोली? 1973 is a very crucial date in Indian history when Keshwananda Bharati judgment came. कि you can amend constitution, you can amend any part of the constitution, but you cannot change its basic structure. Okay? The end I would like to mention that दो statements मैं आपको दूंगा कि महात्मा गांधी refused to participate in this. So people went his place to take blessings. उसमें से उन्होंने जब end में जो conclude किया कि यदि आप आ नहीं रहे हैं तो हमें आशीर्वाद दीजिए, तो वो कहता है देखो संविधान आप जितना मर्जी खूबसूरत बनाओ, मगर ये डिपेंड करता है कि उसको चलाने वाले कितने खूबसूरत हैं. एंड द लास्ट स्टेटमेंट गिवन बाय बी आर अम्बेडकर वाज दैट ये संविधान तो हमने बना दिया है, हमने इसको कोडिफाई कर दिया है, पर ये चलाना आपने है, किस तरीके से चलाते हैं.
Professor Subhash, he has put forward his lecture very well, explaining you the basic structure, the 1973 Act, Keshwanand Bharati case, and our preamble basically is the basic structure. We just cannot change it. Explaining you the difference between federation and confederation, talking about composite culture. I'm sure students have gained a lot.
I am really proud of my faculty members. जैसे आप लोगों ने अभी अपने टीचर्स का लेक्चर सुना, मेरे पास आई थिंक मोस्ट ऑफ यू आर फ्रॉम एमए, मोस्ट ऑफ यू आर एमए स्टूडेंट्स, है ना. मेरे पास एमए के करीब 1 साल पहले बच्चे आए, जस्ट बिफोर दिस लॉकडाउन, 1-1.5 साल पहले, और उन्होंने ये कहा, जिन्होंने नेट क्वालिफाई किया था, उन बच्चों ने आके मुझे कहा कि मैम वी आर थैंकफुल टू आवर फैकल्टी मेंबर्स, आवर टीचर्स, और उनमें दोनों का नाम लिया और ये कहा कि, मैंने कहा अच्छा ये तो बहुत बड़ी बात है. उन्होंने मुझसे कहा कि हम वी आर वेरी थैंकफुल टू देम, और उनके वजह से हमने वो किया, मतलब सभी टीचर्स का नाम लिया, लेकिन स्पेशली अलग अलग बच्चों ने नाम लिया टीचर्स का. तो आज मैंने आफ्टर लिसनिंग दिस लेक्चर मुझे लगा कि वाकई आप लोग बहुत फॉर्चुनेट हो कि आपके पास इतने अच्छे टीचर्स हैं, और इसीलिए मुझे लगता है स्ट्रेंथ भी बहुत ज़्यादा है इस सब्जेक्ट में. तो मैं ये कहूँगी कि आप इसका पूरा फ़ायदा उठाओ, अपने टीचर्स की क्लासेस मत मिस करना. बहुत नेट क्वालिफाई करते हैं बच्चे, और जैसे कि आपको पता होगा इस बार तो इसके जो JNU का एग्ज़ाम हुआ है उसमें भी हमारे बच्चे आगे रहे हैं, बहुत आगे. बेस्ट ऑफ लक.